Welcome everybody to a look at the second film in the Critters series, and the second film obviously in the Critters box set from our video, which is just behind me, and it is from 1988, directed by Mick Garris, who also did Psycho 4 The Beginning and Sleepwalkers. So once again, this is a science fiction comedy horror film, clocking in at 86 minutes long. So we have some returning actors from the prior film, given this is a direct sequel to that first film. So Scott Grimes, Don Keith Hopper, Lynn Shay, and Terrence Mann all return, while Barry Corbin, who was in the likes of the films War Games and Stir Crazy, replaces Emmett Walsh as Harv. So yeah, there was a recasting in that regard. Um, but that's fine because his character actually is a little bit more action orientated in this one. Way more confident in terms of handling a gun and coming up against the critters as well, unlike Emmett Walsh. So maybe they needed a younger actor to do that kind of thing, but regardless, he has been recast. So, three bounty hunters from space fly back to the town of Grover's Bend, hoping to save local residents from a new batch of critter eggs. So, yeah, although there are plenty of elements I like about this, it is the new ideas featured in this that, although enjoyable, do ultimately feel a little undercut as they don't stick around long enough to become fully enjoyable. So, for instance, it's set during Easter. Not often have a horror film set during Easter, which is kind of cool, and that works in with the fact that the critter eggs are being handed around, painted on by kids, put in unobvious ways to find places to find them for kids to go on an Easter egg hunt. That's cool, but again, it's very minimal in that regard. Only one person actually dies in like a Easter costume, so again, not fully realized. Another element is the fact that now we're in the town, whereas we're in the farm on the original film, so we're in a bigger environment. And even though some of that is used to effect, it's nowhere near as heavy on the action as that first film, nor is the action as quite as impressive either. So that's a little underwhelming. And then the fact that the critters turn into a big ball, they all come together as a big ball, that's briefly used again. The future's a good kill and it looks visually impressive, but unfortunately, again, it's very underutilized. And that's despite the fact that the budget actually for this went up by $1 million from 3 to 4. So yeah, I'm just not sure where that budget went, unfortunately. But thankfully, this is still well paced, up some violence over its predecessor. I know the cast isn't as good as before because you don't have the likes of Dee Wallace. They are still decent. The practical effects are also still great, particularly when it comes to the critters joining up into a large ball. Like I said, it does look visually impressive. The score is solid, and it convincingly ups the ante in some regards from the farm to the town. Because production-wise, the town is a town, and a large proportion of it does get destroyed, but there's no massive explosion that is as hard hitting and as impressive as the farmhouse going up in the first film. Just a shame then that it is also predictable. There is some dodgy editing to it. Some scenes just jump to another scene, and there's no real ending to that prior scene. And it doesn't have a single moment of action to match the best parts of the original either. On top of all of that, so yeah, I know some people actually prefer this sequel to the original, but for me personally, it just felt a little bit underwhelming. And yeah, considering its larger budget and the promise of certain elements, it just doesn't come together to make for a quite as an enjoyable an effort. But it's still a 3 out of 5, so it's not a drastic drop off in quality over the first film. But yeah, I certainly would have preferred it to have gone in certain directions while utilizing that budget that bit more. So there is the disc. I've shown off the reversible sleeve artwork and the poster, which has two pieces of artwork on either side in my unboxing. So go there to see those. So it's got a high definition Blu-ray presentation of the film, original lossless stereo 2.0 and 5.1 audio options, optional English subtitles, brand new audio commentary by film critics Matty Broderick and Dave Wayne, archive audio commentary with director Mick Garris, archive audio commentary with Critters designers Charles Chiodo, Edward Chiodo, and Stephen Chiodo, also known as the Chiodo brothers. Then you got the main course, the making of Critters 2 archive documentary, behind the scenes footage, additional TV scenes, theatrical trailer, TV spot, and image gallery. So, yeah, again, like the first film, plenty of extras on the disc, but unfortunately not quite as good of a film. But still, nonetheless, thank you for watching. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this film if you've seen it before. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.